the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, I've got nothing tonight. Anything going on, committee?
I have reviewed the minutes, they look fine to me.
Okay.
I make a motion that the minutes be accepted as presented, unless some other member of our team has found a mess up somewhere.
A second.
Okay, all those in favor? Okay. Take it away, Max.
So, we'll continue from where we were with our read-through. Should we go to the history section, since you said you wanted to skip it last time?
Yeah, I'd like a couple of small things, and I think that might do it.
What page, which one?
Section 3.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
One's a simple spelling
All right.
on page 32.
Page 3-2.
The last first line of the last paragraph, last word is Joe Moore with an M, not an N.
Okay.
And then I think what was confusing me was that there'd been different versions, and I think what I wanted to just ask is the part that was referencing a lot of the NHPC. Max, did you add a lot of that in?
The what?
The Maine Historic Preservation Commission? Because I'm not sure where all of that came from. Because a lot of it starts...
3-5.
Yeah, some of it starts on 3-4 in the historic and prehistoric, but I think the bulk of it is really the trends and the analysis, because I went back to look at the original version from the old plan, and I realized it's quite a bit different.
Right.
And I think I'm good.
So, read that.
Oh, I know, I was just gonna say, I did read through all of it, and there was just one area where I felt like it wasn't quite reflective of what exists with the relationship with the town.
So it is possibly very different. So the Maine Historic Preservation Commission on 3-4, that was me inserting what they marked as the historic archaeological sites.
From, okay, you went directly to their...
That's what they sent to the town.
Okay, all right, good.
That's Baker Mill Dam, Berry Complex, and the shipwreck.
Okay, and then even going into, because it's referenced quite a bit
And the historic,
throughout.
and the historic archaeological as well. And then on page 3-5, that was just information about tax credits.
Okay.
That's not, and it is something that was required just for, I have to get the exact checklist, but it's.
That's okay, but that's all. I realized that whole sort of towards the end was coming from, that really had come more from you than from the Historical Society input. And then my last thing is it's the last page, 3-6. And it's the next to last paragraph, and it says, while we have not experienced any high-profile cases of historic resources falling into disrepair, the Town of West Bath Partnership to provide, and I put access because secure home is not really the old West Bath Meeting House.
So
Wait a minute. Instead of access, ACCESS.
So take out secure home?
Instead of
So
secure
the Town of
home.
West Bath Partnership to provide access to the Historical Society?
Yes,
Yes.
at the old West Bath Meeting House and Littlefield School, because the town owns both of those properties, and we actually have a rental agreement.
Okay.
Good point.
And then comma, as well as space in Town Hall, because we do use some storage space here.
And where is this at? I'm not seeing it.
I'm sorry, it's in next to last
3-6.
paragraph.
3-6.
3-6.
Right here.
So,
Start again, where does it, how does it read?
so if I understand how it's going to read, it's going
Read the
to,
whole paragraph,
Yeah.
yes.
yeah, While we have not experienced any high-profile cases of historic resources falling into disrepair, the Town of West Bath Partnership to provide access to the Historical Society at the Old West Bath Meeting House and Littlefield School, as well as the town office,
As well as space in town.
as well as space at
in
the town
the town
office.
office.
Helps to protect local assets from being lost due to neglect.
That's it.
Okay,
Okay?
Okay,
So I think I'm good. Thank you.
So,
other than that, the history section we think is,
I mean, yes, as best I can.
we've
We
had
had
a lot of discussion about that, and the reason that we've had that discussion is when when we saw it from the old one, I knew that there was more stuff, and I went digging and rewrote it. But what I rewrote it from was also secondary sources. It wasn't, we don't have access, or no one has done the kind of research that would give us primary sources to be able to find that stuff. So there may be some errors in there, but we don't know.
I didn't see too much out of line.
okay.
So,
And my question had been mainly with the information from the Maine Historic Preservation Commission, because the Historical Society does not have an established relationship
yeah,
with them, and so that was pretty good mess.
so does the rest committee just want to accept the historic section?
Or were there any other notes?
I didn't catch the first one you said, what?
First change?
Oh, it was just that was just a simple,
The spelling,
Dromore on 3-2.
3-2.
Yeah, it's the first sentence.
First
the
in
last
Salzburg. The Pittsburgh.
Should have
It's
an
Okay,
L.
okay, yes,
Dromore.
I see it now.
Okay,
All right, so section 3 will be accepted also. Well, as a, and I believe the next one was section 6, the agriculture and forestry section. That's where we left off.
Correct.
So, page 6-1. Comments, questions, changes? Going once, going twice.
Fuck, I'm gonna be getting picky, but,
What?
so I'm probably being picky, it's just language, but under timber harvest, the second sentence.
Yep.
When you said examples include trees that are likely to die before the next harvest would be eligible for select harvest, I mean, that seems like one example. I mean, is that language right? Examples include. It was just a funny wording for me.
Yeah. Where she says examples plural,
Right,
and you only list one.
right.
Examples include trees that are likely to die.
but an
I guess
example,
it's okay, I was gonna say one example is.
One, I'm fine changing it to one example is,
Examples may have been referring to the individual trees, actually, but I think it's clearer the way you just said it.
so one example
that's good.
Includes.
Yes.
includes trees that are dying.
Includes, okay, yeah, I had seen it that way too.
Okay.
And then in the third paragraph, I just didn't understand the first sentence. Clear cut harvesting is done on a site larger than 5 acres that results in a residual basal area of acceptable growing stock trees greater than 4.5 inches of diameter of DBH. Less than, it's not a full sentence. I mean, I don't understand the sentence.
Is it done or allowed?
It's allowed, certainly.
site. It's supposed to be done on sites larger than 5 acres.
But what bothers me more is clear cut harvesting means taking everything, and that's not what you describe here. You describe a result with a residual basal area of acceptable growing stock. And I'll describe what that growing stock is.
So I could remove pretty much the first sentence and just leave it to,
Well, what you're really describing,
Okay, I see it now.
clear
Okay.
cut harvesting is done on a site larger than 5 acres. It results in a residual, it doesn't result in a residual basal area at all. A clear cut would be 0.
Right. So are you talking about clear cut or are you talking about
Select.
selective harvesting?
might have gone under selective harvesting.
Well, why didn't you check that out?
Are the,
I just
I
didn't
think that would work.
Yes.
are the rules in Maine such that they, when you clear cut, you have to allow, some trees to stay?
No.
That's the
because
thing.
No,
that's
clear
not
cutting is
clear cut.
30 square feet.
everything.
Clear cut by definition is you take everything.
Right, I understood that, but that's where I was wondering if that's where the 30 square feet per acre came in.
That is, what that really is what's required in a coastal zone. Next, within 250 feet of the shoreline or something,
Huh.
I'm pretty sure.
Is there some kind of 3-inch rule?
Well,
Why
it's
don't
a
you
basal
just
area function.
Check that whole paragraph out and see
Okay.
what it's really referring to.
Basal area is, if you think about it, is the cross-section of a tree at 4.5 feet above the ground in square inches or square feet on an acre. That's the way forestry profession defines basal area, usually on a per acre basis. And so I know there are rules in the coastal zones that if you start cutting trees within so close to the, I think it's 250 feet of the shoreline,
Yeah.
you have to leave a certain amount of basal area. So if you have really big trees,
Yeah.
you can leave just a few, because a big tree has a lot of basal area. A tree this size has very little basal area. So if the trees are all this size, you gotta leave a lot of them. And so that's why they define it in basal area and not by just numbers of trees. But I've never, I don't think in selection harvesting, there aren't rules like that.
So
And in clear cutting, you take everything.
So I'll see where the rule came from, or where this definition came from,
Yeah.
And get back to us.
and get back, yeah, but if it is just, if it's something that's just, supposed to be somewhere else, then I'll just say clear cut harvesting is the removal of all trees in the area, and then the rest of the paragraph actually works, I believe.
Well,
Yeah.
what are you defining? The rest of the paragraph?
The rest of the paragraph after the 30 square feet per acre, because then it's talking about, it doesn't include when people are removing the trees to accommodate new structures.
Yeah, but what, okay, but see, I'm confused, because you're trying to define selection harvesting in the first paragraph.
He's
Right.
he's gotta review the whole thing and check that,
Just check
to
it.
see where it came from,
Right.
and then get back to us with a
Okay.
rewrite.
Shelter wood harvesting is another technique
Yes,
where you're actually leaving trees that will
yes.
seed for the rest of it, or
We're
provide
cutting out the
shelter.
small
Right.
trees and leaving the more robust trees there.
Leaving some of a segment of the larger ones
Yeah.
to
Right.
regenerate naturally. And then clear cut is taking everything, and then that rest of that, I suspect, I'm suspicious it's a definition of what your limits near the shorelines, but I don't know that.
Yeah. So he will, Max will go back through it,
Yes.
check it out, reword it, and give us the next reading.
Okay. Anything else on page 6-1?
This first page for me, I don't have a lot after this, but this first page got me. The data in the next paragraph, the second paragraph from the end, what data are you referring to? The data is provided by the Department of Agriculture, Conservation, and Forestry.
Which, we're on 6-1?
Next to the last paragraph, the first
The
sentence.
first sentence in the next.
Yes.
That's the table, this is table
Yeah, table
one.
6-1.
I think
Okay.
that that should go after the table.
Yeah, because then you refer to table 1-1, so you mean
Just
6-1?
Just switch those two paragraphs around.
Okay.
And but it's 6-1, not 1-1.
Yep, 6-1.
I was sleeping when I did that one.
What?
I said, I think I was sleeping when I skipped over some of that.
Yeah.
Thought it was okay.
And I did reach out to the Maine Department of Agriculture and Conservation and Forestry about how this was broken up, and they said there was just not enough data in between individual years to justify breaking it down.
Okay.
All right, so was there anything else on page 6-1? Page 6-2. Page 6-3.
I think there's a word missing in the second line of the first paragraph. The community encourages these agriculture and forestry uses by adopting ordinances, standards.
Ordinance standards,
Is it ordinance singular?
but it's standards, I would think.
So the-
One should be singular.
So the community encourages these agriculture and forestry
Uses
uses.
by adopting ordinance,
Yep.
singular standards.
I wouldn't say these agriculture forestry uses, I'd just cross out these. The community encourages agriculture and forestry.
By adopting ordinance standards that are required.
Okay, so those are meant to stand alone? That's not an ordinance then?
No, I think
Okay.
ordinance needs to have
Uses was added.
the S removed. Adopting ordinance
He's saying
standards that are required of this.
So the community encourages agriculture and forestry by adopting ordinance standards.
Oh, okay, take out these, okay.
Ordinance standards.
Community encourages agriculture, okay, that's better.
Boy, that's a long sentence, so that's okay. It makes sense.
I think that's what's happened on some of them, I lose the,
Yeah.
this page is long.
Other changes for 6-3.
Almost everything there is state required.
Yes.
A lot of asterisks.
Yeah.
So hearing none on to 6-4.
Where's it for?
There's none.
There is none.
6-4? Oh,
Ours ends on 6-3.
sorry,
Blank page.
blank page.
Oh,
We approve that page too.
What happened was when I was going through the land use section, there was the paragraph that we were moving there so it doesn't pad out the land use section. It was just a paragraph that talked about the amount of acreage in the forestry service. So it's,
It'll be in the next draft.
it'll be in the next draft. All right. Section 7, critical natural and water resources.
Second paragraph,
Yeah, this is
state approved maintained natural spring at Witch Spring. I don't believe there's any spring there anymore.
Yeah, I thought
We've
already
been through this
that.
before.
Yeah,
And we weren't gonna name the Coffin Horse Farm, Kimball's Corner as a.
That sentence is being removed.
let's
Yeah.
get those out completely.
Which sentence, starting where?
Second paragraph, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th down, there is also a state approved to maintain natural spring at Witch Spring Hill. That whole sentence is coming out, ending on Coffin Horse Farm.
What about the Coffin Horse Farm?
That's
Does that
coming
come
out,
out?
that's coming out.
Okay. After you've got ledges in parentheses there, you say, from wells drilled in bedrock. Okay, that's all right, it's just an awkward sentence.
Yeah.
Actually, from wells drilled in bedrock, comma, that's why it's so awkward.
Any other changes to 7-1?
Yeah, so if you go from where Sandra was just saying the comma, so 1, 2, 3. The first line says, occasionally there are high-yield bedrock wells, but these are rare. There are no drinking water sources that are completely free of threats. However, there are factors, and then in parentheses, deconstruction and construction.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
Do we have a public works department?
No.
And that has to,
Well, so I'll take out the parenthesis, just construction.
Just take them out, is that, okay, I just wasn't sure what that was.
No, but still, the construction and construction doesn't make
Just
sense.
gonna.
He's taking it out.
Just take it
Right.
out.
And you have an
Oh,
underscore
you
right
take
after
everything.
this.
Yeah,
You see the period rest, you have an underscore there.
yeah, got that. Which is
Okay, so
weird, because I used to use,
Okay.
weird, okay, don't know how that lasted.
We don't have a public works department.
Oh, we have a road commissioner.
Uh,
That's the public works.
It's not public
and the
works.
road commissioner?
So I would just say, so I would just replace public works, with
Road
road
commissioner.
commissioner.
Yeah, but. But the road, is that, or is the,
Well, only for culvert replacements. That's the only
Is that-
element it
is
does.
that function of one of the road commissioners?
Just culvert replacement.
What?
The road commissioner does just the culvert replacements for the town. He doesn't look at
This is-
anything
That's
other.
not, the town of West Bath understands the importance of drinking water quality. And you wanna put the road commissioner utilizes best management, oh, for culvert replacement, I see. Never mind, didn't read far enough.
But the operations and the
Sentence doesn't.
salt and sand intrusion on the roof.
That has nothing to do with the road commissioner.
So that's being,
The salt and sand does, because you salt and sand the roads. And that's the road commissioner's overall responsibility.
But he doesn't monitor the intrusion into the water surface.
He does by gauging how much sand and salt they use,
Yes.
by not putting too much salt on the roads. Because salt, and that type of salt intrusion on the wells.
In fact, doesn't the road commissioner oversee the acquisition of the sand and the mixing of the salt in the sand?
Yes, but I agree, the operation of municipal buildings should be taken out.
all right.
That whole thing?
No.
No, just,
So the sentence will now read, the town of West Bath understands the importance of drinking water quality and has the road commissioner utilize best management practices for culvert replacements and minimizing salt and sand intrusion into surface water.
Yes,
Okay.
that's good.
Okay. Other changes to 7-1.
Fourth of the last paragraph, according to the map provided, the closest aquifer is in Brunswick to the east. It's kind of an irrelevant sentence for us.
and I don't know if we should mention the fourth sentence down, there's one public water supply well in Wetland at Camp Davenport. There is no more Camp
There is,
Davenport.
yeah, we did.
So we talked about that sentence should be taken out.
So that's not,
Yeah, the
no,
whole
that's
paragraph
not
should
really
go.
true anymore.
No.
Is it important to know that where the aquifers are if they're not in our town?
No.
No,
They don't, because we can't have any,
that we don't have any resource, any
Any access.
any way to access
Water
them.
comes from.
It wouldn't let us anyway.
No?
Let me just quickly see the checklist to see about
What's this?
the water supply item for Davenport.
So the whole sentence, according to the map provided.
the last, when we crossed out the sentence about Camp Davenport, what are these sources are threatened by saltwater
It should
intrusion?
say, something like, the water sources
Right.
are just water sources.
I think that's true.
Yeah, that's true all the time.
He's looking up something else now.
Yeah,
Just trying to make sure of that, so, just wanted to make sure I can get rid of the Davenport sentence. The water sources are threatened by saltwater intrusion.
Just water sources.
Okay, water sources. Are threatened by saltwater intrusion. So I removed the sentence for the aquifer in Brunswick, and I removed the sentence for about Camp Davenport. Correct?
In which ring?
And which spring? That was moved a while ago.
Okay.
Anything else for 7-1? Hearing none. 7-2.
We have great ponds. don't
Houghton
we?
Pond is a great pond.
Huh?
I think Houghton Pond is a great
Yeah,
pond.
Houghton Pond, and we've got several great ponds.
Is it a great one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
Is
is.
it enough acreage?
Yes,
What's the definition?
I don't have my phone on me, I looked at it last time, Houghton Pond. Look at, I'm almost positive Houghton Pond is a great pond.
yeah. But we've also
I looked it
got
up
one or two
months ago,
others.
we did it. I don't know what other ponds we have.
Mill Pond, Tile. By the bridge. That's
Yeah,
all
no,
Tile.
yeah, I'm almost positive Houghton Pond. I didn't bring my phone.
Well, we can check that.
That's my question.
We'll just keep that in mind, check it.
And aren't there a couple of others?
I don't know if we can, one's live.
Campbell's Pond,
Campbell's
that's
Pond's
not,
too little.
Two room. I don't think it's big enough.
It's not big enough?
I don't think so. It's a ton,
it's acreage, and
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure
15 acres.
Houghton Pond.
we can double check on Campbell's Pond.
And on the second paragraph, the third line down, you've got something over here that's
Hang on,
rural
hang on.
residential.
I'm sorry,
Sorry.
what was the pond you were saying?
Houghton Pond, Houghton
Houghton
Pond
In Sabino area.
in Sabino. And maybe check the acreage of Campbell's Pond, if it qualifies as a great pond.
And that's along Campbell's Pond Road.
Okay. All right, what was the next comment?
Sorry.
Yep.
The third sentence down and the next sentence, the rural residential, you've just got a few extra letters in there.
Where are you?
Oh, yes, I see it. Is it the sentence, it is an exceedingly small watershed which is rural residential in character?
The third sentence, yeah.
The AL, residential, all.
Indeed.
Okay. Other changes for 7-2? Going once, Going twice. 7-3. Seven dash 3. Any changes? Going once, going twice. 7-4. Any changes?
That's mostly all definitions, you know,
Hmm?
mostly all definitions and state information.
Is that in our answer?
No, it wasn't much particular
Okay.
stuff to say.
Oh, okay. This is 7-4, going once, twice, 7-5. Changes, going once, going twice, 7-6. And I remove the overboard wastewater discharge to remove the person's name and the exact location.
Don't stone them.
7-6. Any changes? Going once, going twice, 7-7.
You need to put uranium in there also, the way that's talked about in the state.
What's the only just couple of now?
PFAS?
PFAS, yeah, that, you mentioned it once
You know,
earlier, but
it's-
it's push. Should that get
Is it,
a longer paragraph with all the publicity that's,
Which one? PFAS?
PFAS, yeah.
I think talking much about plastic and well water now and stuff like that.
Not on here.
Okay.
And I do have PFAS mentioned under the agriculture section. So I will make a note to include something on here again. Any other changes to 7-7?
Do you want to put a paragraph beginning in excess?
Where's that?
Which one?
So it's in 1, 2, 3, the fifth line down under nitrogen. You want to add a paragraph separation?
Oh.
So it's you.
You got a gap there.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, I see. Okay. Thank you. Other changes on 7-7?
Give an underscore in the comma for equipment, third line down.
And those are sort of scattered.
I don't know how some of those are still there.
I can't answer that question.
Yeah, there's one earlier too.
Yeah, we saw one earlier.
Yeah.
Alright. Any others are 7-7? Going once, going twice, 7-8.
Actually, go back to rapid development. There's a, you should have your, take the road to space, 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth line down, spawning / space nesting. Should be spawning nesting, no space.
Remove the backslash?
No, the space
There's a
after it.
space.
Nesting should be right up next to the slash.
Okay. Any Anything else for 7-7? 7-8? Are there any changes for 7-8?
It's a long section.
I mean, it's 10 pages. Any changes to 7-8? Going once,
No,
okay. Going once, going twice. 7-9. Any changes for 7-9?
is there still a Casco Bay estuary project? You know of, Christine?
Where are we looking?
Under
Regional coordination.
Regional coordination.
Casco Bay Estuary Partnership.
Partnership?
Is it a plan?
Yeah, they have a plan, but it's called Casco Bay Estuary Partnership.
Well, they have that listed down there, about 4 sentences down. Project, that's it again, right? There should be a partnership there too.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's where this is, or just something?
Yes.
And
Casco Bay, Friends of Casco Bay, does not provide water quality monitoring and sampling anymore.
okay. So I'll look at that. But there is the Friends of Casco Bay, right?
Yes, because I used to be a water monitor, and they've gone to all computerized stuff and
Okay.
nothing local anymore. They stopped that several years ago.
Oh,
Just wanted to be sure that there was 2 Casco Bay related.
There is the Friends of Casco Bay, yes.
So would we just delete that
Take that
sentence?
whole sentence out?
Yes.
Yep.
Which
Okay.
sentence? Could you clarify which sentence?
Friends of Casco Bay. So that's,
It's, 1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
4 from the bottom of that paragraph. 4 lines.
Under analysis and issues, take the space, third line down, few,
Slide.
/ space, light.
Was the project mentioned in one of the places?
here.
I don't know.
First sentence.
Oh,
Any other changes to 7-9? Going once, going twice. Hearing none. Do you all have a 7-10? Because I've been.
We have a couple paragraphs.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, 7-10.
Add a paragraph for saltwater intrusion.
Oh. I see. Are there any other changes for section 7? Hearing none, we'll move on to section 8, marine resources.
Well, anywhere here, you mentioned, in this whole section, seed clams,
Sea claims?
seed clams, soft shell clams. It's mentioned a few times in this section about the West Bath, they harvest a lot of these and blah, blah, blah. Take out any reference to seed, soft shell clams, take it out, because there are no seed clams available anymore. This
No clams at all?
No, the seed,
Seed clams, the
Oh,
baby.
Seed.
SEED. We go through, I'll point them out, but they aren't there. So you mentioned a couple times in this section.
Yeah, okay. 8-1. Any changes for 8-1?
Are there ever any mention about the warmers?
The,
That's a strictly state license.
But wouldn't that be still under marine resources?
I just was wondering if they, certainly. don't know. I don't know if it bears
It's
mentioning.
on the local, on page 8.2 it's mentioned, local marine habitats.
Oh, yeah, warming areas, yeah.
Assuming there was no change, right? I'm sorry?
Is it a town marine resources board, is that the correct name? Okay.
Some people say committee, some people say board, just as long as we're consistent. So it's whichever way you choose to present it.
So assuming there was no other changes under 8-1, 8-2.
Down in marine access, clear at the bottom, is there any reason to discover that in the past New Meadows Inn provided access? Is there any reason to have that sentence in?
I don't think so.
It doesn't exist anymore.
Which sentence are we talking
In the past, this is marine access, in the past, New Meadows Inn provided access to the New Meadows River, but the docks have fallen
Yeah,
into
that's right.
disuse and disrepair. I suggest you just take it out.
about? Sentence is removed.
Is the shellfish harvesting prohibitions paragraph still true?
Yes.
Okay.
Should I say one or more remaining licensed OBDs, or say 4 licensed? Under the shellfish harvesting prohibition, it says continued presence of one or more.
I would say 4, if there's 4 currently.
Does anyone have a,
I'm not sure what you're asking, where?
under shellfish harvesting
The
prohibition?
last sentence, the
Oh,
last sentence.
prohibition.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the last one.
but certainly including the continued presence of one or more remaining
I
licensed.
think one more is,
Just leaves it general enough.
yeah, general enough, I think.
Now, once those expire, are they done?
I don't, not until someone shuts it down.
Right,
So there were states on them though, that access, like some was 26, 24.
right, but that was, we mentioned that in the, I think, water resources where there's 4 of them, but one of them doesn't have an active license anymore, and it just hasn't been
Dealt
taken
with.
down. Yeah. And that's a whole nother matter that we can go into after the meeting.
Yeah, not this meeting.
All right, so I'll leave the sentence alone. Any other changes for 8-2?
Yes, in marinas, the last line, it says there is the New Meadows Marina in Brunswick, just across the river from West Bath, and then I think that you should take that, there is, and say, and the BFCO Marina in Woolwich.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
So the sentence will read, marinas, this is the last sentence. There is the New Meadows Marina in Brunswick, just across the river from West Bath, and the BFCO Marina in Woolwich.
How about you just say, the New Meadows Marina in Brunswick is just across the river from West Bath.
Okay.
And just get rid of the
There is, and
which
just say
one?
comma, so
The
just
one in
start the
Wool-
sentence, the New Meadows Marina in Brunswick is just across the river from West Bath. And the BFCO Marina is in Woolwich.
Why did we mention the one in Woolwich?
Yeah,
It's
kind
not convenient to access West Bath waters.
The
And
only,
you gotta go all the way down to Kennebec and,
you know, I guess the only way would be if somebody wanted to, from West Bath wanted to,
Go to Woolwich.
go on the Kennebec, I guess, I don't know. You might want to go to the Kennebec, rather than go all the way around, but
Yeah, but you could
It's your
use
choice.
the marina at,
what is it, what's the committee think?
I would
So
leave
that's
the
not in
one
there.
in Woolwich.
I'd keep the one in Woolwich.
All right, let's.
I don't care.
I would too.
what about the one in Bath? What's the store, the restaurant that has it? Right. I'm totally drawing a blank.
Keep it private.
The Kennebec Tavern has a marina too.
It's,
There's dockage there.
It's dockage,
Oh,
but
yeah.
if it's really a marina.
It's not a
I
marina.
think they refer to it as a marina.
There's dockage there, it's not marina.
Yeah, and you don't haul anyone out there.
No.
I just,
All right,
So,
that's it.
so is the sentence reading out and still together, or is it being split so that there's one Brunswick period and then there's one in Woolwich? Or are we having it merged into one
Together.
together?
The New Meadows Marina is in Brunswick, it's just across the river from West Bath, and the BFC Marina is in Woolwich.
Okay.
Did you say is in Woolwich?
aren't there marinas in Pittsburgh that'd be a lot more convenient?
Nope, not that I know of. There's a few boat launches as well there.
And there's a boat yard, but not a marina.
The yard's gone, that's it.
In Pittsburgh, we're still,
This
I
is
thought
still
we're
this.
still some.
There's a boat repair shop.
The boat repair and storage.
All right, move along.
Moving on to 8-3. Changes for 8-3.
The last sentence in navigation. I think you should drop it. As I said in the previous meeting, if you can't navigate up there, you shouldn't be in a boat.
So take out this whole, the
Navi-
table two?
No,
No.
Navigation,
Of the upper New Meadows, Back Cove, and No Cove, that sentence would be
the
the
last sentence. And then,
first
Oh,
paragraph.
in the first paragraph.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
You keep mentioning New Meadows Inn, and if you're new, you don't know what that means. And so I don't know why it's
Where is it?
under
First sentence of
navigate.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
Oh, yeah, because it's not.
you know,
it's
I mean,
nothing about-
I figured out what it was finally, but it took me a long time.
isn't there a sign up there that still says in on it?
I don't think so.
I don't know, where's the issue?
Because it's not the New Meadows Inn anymore.
Oh, the New Meadows Inn.
Can't you just say
Without,
the bridge crossing on Route 1?
up to the,
In the previous plan, the Meadows Inn was
right,
still known as a fixture, but it's not there as a the Meadows Inn anymore. That's the problem.
so
So,
just period at US Route 1 Bridge.
Yes.
Yeah.
yes.
Thank you, that's a good catch.
It took me a long time to figure out what it was.
Just didn't know the ends.
I haven't been here long enough. You don't know how much I've learned being on this committee.
Well, good.
Magic of the compound.
Who knew?
All right, any other changes for 8-3? Hearing none, we'll go on to 8-4.
I don't think we have a town ramp at Dan Cove.
No.
First sentence.
First sentence, at present, West Bath has 3 town ramps located at Bull Rock. Damn,
In Mountain Road, it should say, not Dan Cove.
Mountain Road. No changes for 8-4. Changes going once, going twice. 8-5. And I'm getting rid of C claims make up a particular, so actually, should I just get rid of that paragraph before table 8-2 then?
I'm lost in where we are.
8-5,
Yep.
this is the paragraph right before table 8-2. Because C claims are no longer a thing, so I would be getting rid of that paragraph.
I think you could.
Yeah.
In the first paragraph, New Meadows River Watershed Project is no longer here. That's when they sent the refund check for, isn't it, Christine?
Yes, I believe so.
So that's final sentence of the first paragraph will be.
It's gone, yeah.
Delete it.
Yeah.
Any other changes for 8-5? Going once, going twice. 8-6.
The analysis section, David, do you like that first sentence at all?
Which paragraph?
The first one?
Third paragraph.
Oh, the third, no, that's another one of those.
To continue to capitalize on recent gains in coastal water quality and the reopening of closed clam flats.
Which sentence, which
The
paragraph?
first sentence of the analysis section.
To continue, to capitalize? Yeah, that works.
It's okay?
Clam seeding is not there though.
The natural abundance should be gone.
Yeah, from natural abundance to town's marine resources, that whole thing is gonna be, those two sentences are gone. Then I think this was also a sentence that we were getting rid of. Additional clam flats could possibly be opened at Berry's Mill Cove, Dam Cove, and New Meadows Lake.
Yes, that should be there.
Why not, or just,
Well, Berry's Mill Cove was opened up anyhow.
okay,
Dam Cove was opened up. Meadows Lake, the housing co-ops, which is just a hard frame. So they're open for the most part.
What do you mean by the word, after all of that's gone? You start out the next sentence by receptivity, and I don't know what the receptivity is referred to.
what does that mean?
And the Berry's, next sentence was Berry's Mill Cove, Dam Cove.
Yeah, after that, there was the receptivity one.
Yeah, I don't know what you're trying to say.
I think that was supposed to be, that was supposed to be as the clams are growing. Meanwhile, here's all the oysters and other aquaculture that can be enhanced. But because we're getting rid of those past two sentences, or three sentences, it can just start with the development.
Okay.
The next paragraph down, it's planned seeding again.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, you guys are going faster than me.
Okay?
Additional clam flats could possibly be open, they're already open.
That's,
Yeah, that's why we're
We're deleting it.
Delete that sentence.
Yeah,
Yep. So what'll happen is for that analysis and issues, the paragraph will go to address issues unique to the New Meadows River, and then we're deleting sentences until it starts with the development of identified mollusk aquaculture sites compatible to maintaining.
So receptivity gets,
Yes.
So that's all needed. Then the next change was in the next paragraph, where the sentence, the town could become a significant location for clam seedling propagations locations on the main coast, as well as hosting, if desired, traditional methods of aquaculture such as oyster farming. That sentence is gone.
Say that again, what sentence?
the town could,
right.
Okay.
2, 3, 7.
We got
Lines,
it.
lines 4 and 5, yeah.
This clam seedings.
Those clam seeds.
They get you every time.
And then I'm getting rid of these other mentions of clam reseeding programs, right?
Correct.
Okay.
The clams appreciate that.
where was that last one?
Stop it, this right here. Or D.
Oh, okay. I'll put this one there. I'm good.
Okay. No other changes to section 8. We're on to section 9. And yes, these last ones I got out this morning, so I understand if you don't have,
These have not had a chance to read them.
Should we try to do it now?
Well, yeah,
On the fly.
we can keep going, just a little slower pace, give us time to read through it.
yeah,
Yeah, you want to try to,
yeah, that's fair.
Let's start with the first page first.
First, so page 9-1 for public facilities and services.
What are the 3 full-time employees?
Should there be 2 full-time instead of 3? Yeah.
2,
And also the rep, should it be?
No, it's 3.
Code enforcement officer?
Who's a full-time?
Code enforcement.
Oh, yeah.
I think we should add that.
And you should add the ad in
Should
there.
that be slashed after
Should
fire
be
chief
that
or?
one next.
Town clerk and then code enforcement.
Code enforcement, on the middle of the sentence. 3 full-time employees, flash the town clerk, and code enforcement.
Treasurer, tax collector, town clerk, and code enforcement officer.
The very last of that, do we want to get rid of shellfish warden, is now this the sheriff's department?
They are the shellfish warden.
Yeah, it should say Saginaw County provides shellfish warden services through the sheriff's office.
Yeah, I see, Saginaw County provides law enforcement.
Not law
We don't-
enforcement.
Okay,
We don't have an active
Shellfish
warden.
warden
per se.
services.
Well, they do provide law enforcement.
I
Yes.
wouldn't say that because that sounds like they do a lot more than shellfish warden.
provides services through the sheriff's office.
Services, yeah.
Services.
What do I say, shellfish, they provide law enforcement services to the sheriff's office and also administer shellfish warden services. Because that is our law enforcement.
It is. I think it's just the sentence that's throwing me off. I just don't want it to be confusing.
Shellfish,
Maybe it should be 2 separate sentences.
And
Yeah,
supplement
separate sentences, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
So,
the sheriff's department also provides marine warden services for the town.
so the sentence will be Saginaw County provides law enforcement through the sheriff's office. Next sentence.
How about and supplements the town?
Well, no, they provide it, they
Yeah,
provide
they
it.
do a separate sentence.
the sheriff or the
Sheriff's Office,
The sheriff-
provides shellfish.
warden services.
And also provide shellfish warden services.
So then, so you could just put which in there?
We're gonna make it 2 sentences.
So, Saginaw County provides law
Just
enforcement through the
separate law
sheriff's
enforcement,
office,
Because they're
period.
different.
The sheriff's office also provides shellfish warden services.
Yes,
Correct.
thank you.
That'll work.
Okay.
And there is not specifically an identified warden, Christine, is that
No,
right?
that's-
Not
So
anymore.
maybe, so
It
maybe that
definitely-
should be not capitalized, like shellfish warden with
Yeah,
lowercase.
because they're just deputies.
So shellfish warden, lowercase.
Services, yeah.
In the 3rd paragraph,
Mm-hmm.
should we use the Bath sewer district for the, in there too? Because it's in the
Yeah.
park.
That's what it called, sewer district?
Bath Water District, comma, Bath Sewer District, comma, and then it'll continue.
They're separate.
Yeah. And I take it for that shellfish warden lowercasing, I'm doing that throughout the entire section.
Yes.
that paragraph, there's something screwy about
Which one?
that big long sentence. The Bath Water District, patent-free library in Bath, dispatch and shared coverage Saginaw County. The transfer station in West Bath provides regional service.
Yeah, that's a sentence within a
Okay.
sentence.
You need a break there somewhere.
Well, it says amenities colon, so you've got all of those things following a colon.
Yeah, I see it.
No, that's right though,
You saw that.
as a colon, it should.
Yeah, I've fixed that one. The bath water.
And, but I don't like the transfer station and the Bath Fire Department
Yeah,
all in one sentence.
I think Saginaw County, I think it's supposed to be Saginaw County, period, and then new sentence, the transfer station in West Bath provides regional
That
service.
works.
And Beth, I mean, I know we're not doing grammar, but it needs to be.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
He saw that.
Yeah.
So that, okay, sorry.
Okay,
No, no,
but the
that's-
that's clarified. The Bath Fire Department is because of mutual aid services. Makes sense. Yeah.
Any other changes for,
What's the West Bath Board of Directors?
school board of directors?
Yes.
School board,
Oh, school board. Oh, okay.
you should say
So it should say
school.
school.
I think we've gone back and
Really?
It's officially
forth. The
the
school
board of
board,
directors.
Is it?
Yeah.
Since it's school, West Bath
school board of directors.
School Board Director,
Mhm.
That's confusing.
Okay. Then on page 9-2, the recycling committee is the thing that, is it being removed now?
You s-
Okay,
The select board hasn't decided because our solid waste contract is up at the end of the year.
Was that committee handling that?
I'm sorry, Max, I have to bring you back to 9-1 from you.
yeah, sure.
The town administrator also supervises the road commissioner. In the first paragraph.
Town administrator oversees several part-time employees, harbor master, animal control officer, fire chief, and road commissioner.
Yes. And, let's see, in the third paragraph, the transfer station does not provide the hazardous waste collection days.
I'm sorry, which one is this?
The third paragraph,
Third paragraph.
transfer station.
And they don't do the
It's
hazardous.
but it's part of mutual aid services though, it doesn't say that's by them.
Says the transfer station in West Bath provides regional service,
Common
regional hazardous waste collection days.
And the Bath Fire Department as part of mutual aid services.
So,
Right, but it sounds like the transfer station provides the regional
The town
hazardous
is that.
waste collection days, which they don't.
The town is that, right?
It's the town of Westlake, and,
Yeah.
yeah.
That should be crossed off, right? Because it's not.
so get rid of the
Oh, it's
hazardous,
it's a regional
It's regional,
service.
okay. There's-
so get rid of the
I
hazardous.
wouldn't get rid of the hazardous waste collection, it's just you need to make it not sound like it's the transfer station. Because it's not done by them.
Or you could say regional hazardous waste collection is available as is,
I might just get rid of it there, and then in the next sentence, just say West. So is it the town that does the hazardous waste collection there?
With Brunswick.
It's in.
Yeah, it's Brunswick Public Works that does it.
so maybe
So-
But we pay for it, we pay so much.
say Brunswick Public Works provides regional hazardous collection waste,
Should I,
and the West Bath Fire Department
so maybe I should instead,
provides mutual aid service.
maybe instead in the first sentence, where all the regional entities and amenities are being listed, that's where I'll say regional hazardous waste collection days in Brunswick. Would that make more sense?
Yes.
Separate it. Yeah, let's go with that.
I was just saying, and the Bath Fire Department provides mutual aid service.
The,
I don't even know if we need to mention the Bath Fire Department.
That's our
yeah,
ambulance service though.
This is fire department.
Many towns provide mutual aid though.
Yes,
Yeah.
every town does,
That's
around it. They're all part of mutual aid.
The fire chief told us that he interacts with
With
all,
everybody, yeah.
all kinds of communities up
Inside
and
of
down the
common
Mid Coast
culture.
area.
But Bath Fire Department is who provides our ambulatory service to the town.
But it says mutual aid, the ambulance is not mutual aid.
Right.
So you say Bath provides ambulatory service?
But
yeah,
that's not a regional thing.
so,
I think it should be dropped. It's not a regional entity.
I mean, this, yeah, the sentence when it's kind of
It's,
messy at this point.
yeah, I would take that right out.
So how is the ambulance service taken care of?
That's a
It's from
contract.
Bath Fire Department.
It's a contract.
Through contract.
It's not a regional, it's not a regional entity.
Okay,
And West Bath has a specific contract with them
with Bath
For
Fire.
ambulance.
for ambulance service.
But if they would say Bath Fire,
I
what,
don't
Just a new sentence that
You
says
get
that.
get rid of the Bath Fire Department sentence, that sentence.
why not say they provide ambulatory service?
Can I,
Is contracted for it.
yeah, so that's what I was about to ask, just when talking about ambulance services, is that a new sentence in that paragraph, or?
That's what I would do.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, that's what and I'm just stressing that it's a contract through the fire department.
Yes.
Well, no, I wouldn't say the fire department, it's the city
What,
of
the
Bath.
Bath Fire Department,
City of Bath.
City of Bath.
It's the city of
The city
Bath
of Bath,
ambulance
yeah.
service.
It's not,
It's not the fire
it's
department.
not the City of Bath Fire Department, it's the City of Bath.
She uses ambulance services. Or contracts
With the city of Bath.
with the City of Bath. Okay. So assuming there were no other changes to 9-1, we were on 9-2.
So the investment committee, paragraph needs to be restructured or I don't know, Bob, see if you agree with me on this. The
Yeah,
investment committee examines and recommends options to the select board for the long-term capital improvement fund
yes.
to best utilize surplus town funds.
What's the name of the fund again?
Long-term capital.
Improvement fund.
Got it.
What's that
Does
again?
that work for you, Bob?
Sure you heard that?
No.
So the investment committee examines and recommends to the select board options for long-term capital investment funds to best utilize surplus town funds.
The best utilize, yeah, capital improvement fund.
Improvement fund.
Capital.
And the resources board should reference the sheriff's department, not the warden.
The Sagahawk County Sheriff's Office.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm starting to come on here. So what was that one?
Say like sheriff, county sheriff.
And so for the time being, the recycling committee's gonna be left there, because,
I don't know anything about this. What's going on with the recycling?
Yeah, when we redo the contract, the reason why we have a recycling committee is because it says in our current contract that we must have one. The recycling committee does not perform the functions that are outlined in the contract. And I'm going to recommend when we redo the contract that we do not have a recycling committee. The town and the select board can certainly make decisions around that. So, I'm not necessarily saying that you take out the fact that we offer opportunities for recycling. I just don't think the comp plan should say it's a recycling
Say
committee.
recycling services to the committee.
which is the town hall, like, get rid of recycling committee and just talk about the
So
town.
recycling
Right.
services.
Is this where it's listed, is that where you're referencing?
Yeah, there's at the bottom in the blue,
Yeah,
in the blue in the bottom of 9.2.
Well,
but,
it's on 9.1 too, also.
It's listed.
It's listed, it says.
Well, it's listed in the, yeah, we can cross that out.
7 members.
Should be going to go first in this.
that actually makes things easier for that page then.
Good. Something worked out.
So that they're gonna be taking it out?
Yes.
So we are removing
And do
references.
they know, I mean, did they not exist, the group of people
For the
that
most
think they're
part.
committee?
Okay.
Yeah, they haven't been meeting, they sort of, what they do is they kind of oversee garbage to garden right now, but that isn't part of the duties that they were expected to perform. They're interested in that.
Okay.
All right, moving along.
9-3. Most of these descriptions are coming from the town website. 9-3.
Is the recycling committee appointed for garbage to
There
garden?
is a one against the
No.
Hearing Commission.
Yeah.
That's kind of what they just decided to do,
So we just-
but that's not why they were appointed.
Should that then be removed here?
Yeah, it should come off the first page too.
Yeah, I removed the recycling
You
thing.
can move it.
And that makes it.
So is the code enforcement officer still part-time?
No.
No, full-time.
Full-time. All right, so that,
The CEO is responsible for issuing permits.
In the town building, shouldn't we also list the town land that we own? Vacant land?
That's,
The only problem with it, a dozen parcels of A-size land.
Yeah, but it's
or-
assets of the town.
Read.
um, it's open either way.
I don't think you can list all the land.
Yeah,
We should show what the town owns though, somewhere, we should list an asset.
Is it available to, in the town, I mean, if
We have-
somebody were to
We
ask
have
the questions, then
several parcels of land that we own.
maybe that could be stated in a general way.
It's an asset of the town.
well,
Do they have addresses?
It's not a,
They have land, lot and parcel numbers.
I mean, another option is under the land use section, you could just state how much is owned by the town, just give them one number, rather than just saying all the individual parcels, like, but I'm just spitballing on some idea, some compromise right now.
I think the best way to handle it is to, general statement saying the town has numerous lots, the town has numerous lots.
I think we should list them by location, what they are.
Well, I don't. And this is, what's the committee thing?
I don't think so.
What's that?
There's
Why do we have them?
Tax acquired,
Pardon?
tax acquired properties.
I think we should list them, and I would certainly recommend that as a select.
It's a-
Well,
27 for one.
Unfortunately, this is a committee.
If, yeah, just centering back, I know there's gonna be a disagreement on this one.
Well, I'm promoting that we mention it in one general term in the land ordinance, somewhere or someplace in the land section, that we own a number of pieces in the town.
Okay,
We could say how many in what the total
Yeah.
agree.
acreage is.
Yeah.
We own 39
But
pieces.
it's a flexible thing, if it's
Five and
tax
a half
acquired,
acres
there's
or
lots of it goes right back up to auction.
Well, and that's the
Well,
other,
it could, but we haven't done it.
Right now, you own them.
yeah, and that's the other part I wanna say, like, and I'm sorry if this is delving deep into this thing, but this land that we're talking about, is it tax acquired that then is gonna go back on the market, or is this?
Right now, the town is just sitting on about 12 different parcels.
Why don't we want to listen?
I don't think we need to listen in this section, we can mention in the land section.
In the land section,
Yeah.
you listen there?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I just think it should be
Yeah, that's a
listed
good
somewhere
idea.
that the town owns
He's
parcels of land.
Yeah, I think so too, just
not here. but the land
transparency,
section.
right, okay,
Yeah, total
yeah.
transparency.
and I'll make a note of that, I think at the time, we're probably not gonna get to the land use section, but I'll make a note of that for the land use section, just to amend it and then send it off that, it's just a quick little blurb saying the town owns X number of acres and,
by parcel. For transparency.
okay. Okay.
In the West Mass School paragraph, third from the bottom, should we have the West Mass School community crew in there? Because the school is overseen by the board of directors.
Say again, to have the West Bath.
Community crew in that paragraph.
Yeah, assessing, right above the assessing agent, the site is overseen by the school board directors and West Bath School.
But for me, the school community group does not oversee that.
Yeah, I just.
They don't,
No,
We
the
take
school
that out.
does.
Board of Directors.
Yeah, oversees the school in the land.
The West Bath School Community Crew is like a PTA.
yes. You've all told me about this group.
So I just say that, I don't think it should be in there as far as overseeing
Okay.
the school.
They do lots of good things to support the school.
Right, and the community crew being throughout the whole thing was an early decision to
Yeah.
mention the community crew as much, but I think
Well, I think
recently.
'cause PTO was used and we're
Right,
saying that's
and I
not
think-
what it's
But
called.
they're in
Right.
an auxiliary
And
that
then,
are totally,
and then I think recently was when it was decided we could probably not mention the community crew as much and instead just focus on
The
the
school.
West Bath School in general.
Yeah,
instead.
all right.
Other changes for 9-3?
Is the code enforcement part-time or full-time?
We discussed.
full-time.
Yeah,
we
we're
discussed
removing
that.
the part-time item.
We've already done that.
Alright. 9-4?
In the first paragraph, you could, the last sentence isn't relevant now.
I'm sorry, what's in?
The last
Oh, the
sentence,
first paragraph,
other
sorry.
options include increasing the hours of.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I don't think John needs any more hours.
No
He's
more
all
hours.
set.
No, you can go more. Double it.
PTO and fire chief.
We're not recording, right?
Yes,
Kidding.
and we have our followers now.
Ooh.
We had 59 people look at it last time.
We shouldn't do that before I even make that joke. Alright.
You get that fun, you need fun, come on now.
Other changes for 9-4.
Is there, periodically you put in what the survey said, but you just put it in without, having much say other than you throw it in there. This is under the bottom paragraph of the utilities.
Right.
It's kind of jarring when you come to that because you don't know how to think about it.
Well, the intent was to have the survey as part of the appendix, to show all the results.
You just say it's public survey outreach, or mention survey or something? In the last sentence.
That's part of the public outreach survey.
Yeah. Sure.
And then, do you want me to just add on, as part of the public outreach survey, and then in parentheses, see
Right.
appendix A, or just?
Fine, yeah, that would be good.
As of today, all internet was made available, installed, so the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th line down for the roads. The sales of that will, literally today. When you say internet service is available for all of the community. It is now available for all of the community.
Everybody?
The polls and blinds were run. The sales department of Xfinity will be reaching out to all of the community for them to choose whether they'd like to install it in their homes. So it is available for everyone.
So, I'm getting rid of the,
The word majority,
You could say there, just say.
Replace with
internet.
all.
for all of, is available for all of the community.
all of the
So
community.
you don't have to say there are, can you just say internet services?
Internet services is available. Internet service
Service.
is available for all of the community.
And
we still have areas that do not match the federal definition of being
State,
serviced.
the state standard, probably.
But everyone has it, as of now, it's available.
So we can then have a comma and go on and say, but there are areas still that don't match the federal definition.
Yes,
Okay,
that is still
great.
accurate.
Or the state definition.
That is still accurate.
Right, hold on, so you're saying Xfinity or someone like that came throughout?
We just finished the build out
Okay,
for the roads that were left off.
Right.
The franchise agreement. The entire town of West Bath has availability.
so alright, so I'll restructure it saying there are internet services available for all the community, that match
Comma, but there are areas that still do not match the federal definition of being serviced.
well, no, you're saying you are match that federal standard.
No, well, no, the federal the broadband of being serviced 24 minutes, so it's the standard service.
Right.
So the federal definition of being serviced by broadband, 25 megabits downloaded, 3 up.
Right, but you're saying that there's a cable provider or a fiber company?
Xfinity
Yes.
is now been made
Comcast.
available.
Internet access is available, but it doesn't necessarily meet the
Meet the
standards.
standards of utilization.
That wasn't available
It was not-
before.
literally, they had
It was
roads
not,
that
there were
didn't have it.
areas that wasn't
I'll
available.
talk with you after the meeting, because
Okay.
I'm pretty sure throughout the community, everyone can get that type of service, but I'll talk with you after that. Okay. And actually, in that case, we probably don't even need this public outreach survey item anymore,
Maybe it's not.
because that was done before this whole thing happened.
Okay.
We'll simplify it.
We still want to improve it,
Well, we are looking to get a grant to improve
to improve
capacity.
But,
beyond the minimalist
Yes.
provided.
but I'll make a note that says that survey took place before this happened, because I don't know if the results might be different then.
That's good.
I mean, I'm leaving the results in there, but I'm just
Yeah,
noting,
Yeah,
I think, unfortunately, you should leave that in there.
just leave it as is.
Just say that, but subsequently, after the survey,
This happened.
this happened.
And that's what I'm trying to clear up.
I'll talk to you after, like.
They just look good.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just-
The town acted.
We did, we rolled it out. The town now has full capacity.
Well, that's your thoughts.
Still needs to be improved, but,
Right.
100%.
right,
We're
exactly.
still pursuing that from the committee, or
Yes.
the task force, I should say.
I would leave it as is, period.
I would too. So it's just say that it's available for all.
As long as we change the availability to all.
Yep,
Right.
I would leave the
That's the only
rest
thing
of it as is.
That's changing and,
that's it. I wouldn't change anything else.
Even if there's ongoing work from the task force to address these gaps by utilizing funds
We are still looking to,
Is that still-
that's
oh
what we're
yeah,
still doing.
Yeah,
yep, that's still going on.
through state and federal governments, okay.
In that case, I'll just leave that as is. So we move on. Now, there was this one item with the district court that I didn't know if we wanted to include, just to say that it's in town.
I think
I do,
that's,
I think it's important.
Yeah.
I think that's important.
It's
Right,
right.
I do.
It's funny, I got lost trying to get in Bath, I missed my turn, and I drove by
Found
the
the courthouse.
Of
And I
course.
passed by the courthouse, I was like, how long has this been here? No one mentioned this to me.
For a long time.
There's nothing wrong with town, really.
So try to learn how to ride his bike in that.
Right.
There's nothing.
We don't have a lot of people gathering outside and making commotion or anything.
That's fair.
I've never seen a person buy it, actually.
Can you use that in S after handles the last line?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay. And then, moving on. -5.
In the first paragraph,
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines down, starting with master, take the but out. autonomy, the harbor master
Also,
But also.
along with the select.
along, take the also out, along with the select board when needed enforces the ordinance. Yeah, that's right. And then the next paragraph down, the last line, that was should be changed to an is. Incidental for his job is, other equipment incidental for his job is owned by the town.
Okay.
Then the next,
I would take the along out too.
pardon?
Back on that,
Yeah, oh,
with a
yeah.
great deal of autonomy, the harbor master
With the select.
with the select board.
Okay, good.
I don't think you need
all
one.
right.
Sorry.
Then the next one, the number of applicants for new moorings, take the may out and make it continues, an S.
Where?
No,
The first sentence.
Yeah.
That's the line.
Of the last paragraph.
Oh,
under
yeah,
harbor
yeah,
master,
yeah.
The first
Oh,
sentence.
it's not.
Okay.
In the first paragraph, where it says, when rule changes are recommended by the committee, there's no committee. You can just say when rule changes are recommended,
The town is.
town must ratify that.
Which
Which
makes-
paragraph?
This is back up at the harbor master.
Top.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
When rule change is recommended, the town must ratify it. Period.
No, there's nothing. Okay.
And that's, now that sentence, when the rule changes are recommended, the town must ratify them. That sounds
It's
like,
unnecessary.
By the harbor master?
they don't become rules until the town ratifies them, but the town is not obligated to
No,
ratify.
the town should consider ratifying them or something.
The town may consider ratifying, or the town.
Any
They
rule-
consider amending.
any rules, proposed rule changes must be ratified by the town.
Right,
Yeah.
terrific.
Yeah.
So in actuality, it's the harbor master that's gonna be recommending those?
Yes.
The town is responsible for ratifying potential rule changes. Okay.
Under Marine Resources Board,
Mm-hmm.
I'm concerned about saying that the Marine Resources Board engages in the following duties, because they don't actually engage in those duties. They recommend ordinance language to address those items. They don't issue the licenses, town office issues them.
So the Marine Resources Board makes recommendations for the following, like, is that roughly?
Yeah, they make recommendations for the ordinance.
But not necessarily he's following it.
Makes recommendations and,
For the following areas.
yes.
The Marine Resources Board makes recommendations to the town office for
For the following areas, in the following areas.
in the following areas.
Yeah.
In that bottom paragraph, you're talking about reseeding a couple of times. I don't know how to change the sentences around.
What are you referring to?
Talking about reseeding
This is after the list for the Marine Resources Board. So I think that's just, is it, it's not the whole sentence, it's just,
Of receiving.
by shellfish harvesters.
Receding land beds.
Yeah, but that's just probably ending the sentence at surveying.
Yeah.
Well, but they are required to reseed.
Well, they aren't required, but it is part of their duties to,
Right.
It is.
at some
It's
point,
part of
they
their,
do reseeding to get their hours and
Their-
conservation.
their conservation hours.
There's a certain amount of reseeding they must do to retain their
Okay.
license.
Oh,
Oh,
Well, that's a,
No,
no.
there's no specified reseeding, but that is one of the ways they can get their hours, by reseeding, if they so choose that year to receive a certain area. They don't have to receive,
But
but
where do they get the seeds from, since we don't
They
have
buy
them?
them from, growers grow them on islands.
they have bought co-op seeds in the past from a hatchery.
There's certain islands out in the Casco Bay that produce seed clams for purchase.
Amazing.
so I am leaning in reseeding.
Yes.
Okay.
That's a different reseeding.
But historically, what David keeps reminding us.
Telling us that we used to do it ourselves.
We used to be able to harvest seed clams in our coves here in Mill Cove. and
Is there
places.
anything that we can do to bring that back?
Get rid of the green crabs
Green crabs, right?
and the worms.
And the worms.
All right.
So third line from the bottom, Max,
Hmm.
it says clam license holders, that should be shellfish license.
Yes.
And, the board does not oversee the town-owned boat launches. They don't oversee the maintenance of the boat launches.
So the town oversees the maintenance?
Yes. The select, I would say, the
Actually,
select board.
the Marine Resources Board has nothing, not even recommendations to it.
No,
No.
no.
Then,
should it be mentioned here?
I was gonna say,
They do the water testing, but they don't oversee the maintenance of the land.
Just take that part
Take it
out.
out.
yeah. It'll just say the board also oversees administering a water quality test program.
And I would take out the word flats, because they don't want to test the flats.
Okay.
That's good.
Nine dash six.
Second paragraph, second sentence, second line, at the end, I think as should be replaced with after.
Sorry, which one is this?
After the comprehensive plan is.
After the comprehensive plan is implemented. Second
Okay, I
paragraph.
see.
Yeah.
I
That
don't
makes
understand
sense.
the first sentence in that paragraph. Licensing of harvesters will continue to be by town
That
survey.
doesn't make any sense.
Well, the state and the town survey the flats. They actually, say it's a 3x3 area, they'll section off and survey how many clams are in that
Should
flat,
be,
how many clams are in that cove, and based on that survey number, then DMR alone, the Shellfish Committee Board, will decide if they can have 20 commercial diggers, or 15 commercial diggers, or 25 commercial diggers, based on the number of, on the survey.
they
numbers.
should be allocated by town survey. Should be allocated by town survey and towns.
And DMR also conducts that survey.
Allocated, and that's in conjunction with the state.
How about just licensing will continue to be affected by the survey of town clam flats?
Affected.
I mean, because if it's rich survey, you could add more. If it's down, you might back off.
Okay,
I don't know. I'm just throwing that out.
I'm fine with affected.
In the,
No, wait,
go ahead.
just not saying, but the town will need to continue to fairly but vigorously enforce fish harvesting
Yeah.
rules, because the town, it's the relationship with the
Saginaw.
Saginaw,
Yeah.
so does that language need to be different there?
I should say the shellfish warden services provided by the Saginaw County Sheriff will work with